Hey,
I don't have.
you look nice.
Thanks, mate. I wasn't allowed to wear any sports gear or kit, so I had not a lot to wear.
I was expecting a check shirt.
Always.
Apparently you've been going in with sheets. Going in. This
Not
is the
true.
list previously.
Well, kind of true. It all depends on what numbers you use on websites.
Yeah, I can
Because
believe
the one that I used and always used was very different to the one that they used. But, you know, do you count West Country Cup games in 2015? Do you count the Canterbury Cup games? I don't know. There you go.
What does this mean for you, mate? What does the milestone mean for you?
It's big. I'm probably more excited about it than I look and act. But for me, Bath Rugby's become a bit of an identity, really. As in, anyone from when I'm this sort of age, like 18, from when I was 15, 16, up until I'm now 30 with that 3 kids, like everything on that journey is associated with Bath Rugby. So, no, it's I'm proud.
Do you remember what it was like when you joined all those years back?
I do. It was very, very different to what it is now. I mean, we were still not all at Farley. We were still travelling every day to and from. The academy was treated very differently to what they are now as well. Like the way those boys get their contracts, their housing, their food, they're treated like royalty, I'd say, compared to them, which I think is fair. But yeah, no, I do remember it. But it does feel like a long time ago.
No, we've seen a couple of pictures pop up already, and I remember when you first joined as a loose head prop, probably one of the weirdest kids I've ever met, because I was 4 or 5 years older than you, and I just remember every session you'd come up to me and be like, "What do you bench press? What do you eat?" I was like, this kid is genuinely obsessed. So we went down the prop route, moved over to hooker. What was you thinking?
Yeah, obsessed is probably a pretty good word to use. I mean, at the time then, I probably wasn't even full-time. I think I was probably a uni scholar or under-18s.
I remember you were like 15.
Yeah, well, there you go. Yeah, so we don't talk about school because that wasn't great. We focused on the rugby, and that's all I wanted to do. I mean, there's photos of me having my birthday party at the Rec when I'm like 10, 13, still all I wanted. So at that stage, when I was like 15, I was going down to Chippenham and training with the first team. Like, do that on a Tuesday and Thursday, play with my age group on a Wednesday. I play for Saturday, Sunday. Rugby was it.
Your rugby's aged like a fine wine. Your head like a pint of milk. Your rugby's done well.
Chris Cook sent me a photo the other day actually of me on my debut photo and then my most recent headshot, and it's quite the transformation.
Like, some of these you look really quite handsome.
Yeah, you know, the old raw chicken breast effect. Aged like a raw chicken breast, but I feel like I've become more functional in what I'm doing. So,
mate, I've used this with some of the academy boys, and I know you've got what could only be called as a throwing, catching net or whatever it is attached to the side of your house. Like, for me, you put together, like, this shows your diligence. You put together a throwing book, so to speak. We've recorded everything you do. You know your stats inside out, beat it every day. You still got the book, firstly?
I've still got that book. But I don't use it anymore. No, it's in the house somewhere.
So
I've probably got 3 or 4 of them filled up, to be fair. So I just used to write down. Say I did a throwing session on a Tuesday morning and I did 40 throws. I'd write down the good ones and the bad ones. Then I'd look at the bad ones, and if there was like a pattern, so say it was a shape ball to 7 metres, I missed 3 times. I'd then practice that 100 times, and then I'd look at the 100 times I threw it, and I'd write down how many times I missed it out of the 100. Then I'd try and beat that the next day. So I used to just write down every throw I did, probably for the first 5 years, because I was obviously late to being a hooker, so I'd missed 6 or 7 years of training, practice and reps of being a master of a skill. Don't know if I'm actually there yet, but I'm definitely a lot better now than I was 10 years ago.
You're blacking it if nothing else.
Fake it till you make it, that's what I did at the start.
Mate, I remember you coming into first team training and coaches would wind you up like one of those little toys, swizzle you right up, send you into training.
The monkey with the snibbles just running around, getting the strings pulled.
Literally go in, rip the session up, make everybody else better, have a few scraps with pretty much everybody in the start in 15. Well, how do you think that helped you on your journey? Do you think it helped you on your journey?
Yeah, I think when you play the way that I play, you go into a training session and I'm not going to ever be the quickest, I'm never going to be the most skillful, and it's hard to try and, you have to work hard. Obviously that's one of my main aspects of my game, so you can always do that, but actually having that physical element to the game, which is what I've pretty much done, you can't do that in training very often. So whenever I got those opportunities to be physical and to try and be a bit of a nuisance and a nose, I had to take it with both hands. And I understand now, almost a shoe on the other foot of being 30 years old, when I was running around on a Tuesday morning whacking these 30-year-old blokes like Davey, Assey, Ryan Caldwell, Dom Day, Webbs, Batty, yourself probably weren't far off that age, but they were probably going, what is this kid doing? Like, calm down, it's a Tuesday morning, leave me alone. I played 60 minutes on the Saturday. But then that's what I got asked to do, and that's what I wanted to do as well. It wasn't, we joke about them pulling the strings, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to show them that I can man up, I can be tough enough, I can mix it with these kind of international players at the time. So, yes, they asked me to do it, but I obviously wanted to do it.
Mate, you're born to do it. You're born to go in properly tough. Like, I remember me and you obviously had a fight, if you can, a scrap, we'll call it.
Yeah, the one where we stood punching, and we did Peter Stringer and Mickey Young that split us up. We got tired. We had each other around the throat, which was punching, rabbit punching. Until we got tired, broken up by 2 scrum halves. Yeah, that was a good one.
But that was you to a T, wasn't it? Just tough, worked hard, and then obviously we've now seen it with your 200 games in the first team when you've kind of obviously gotten your opportunities. Career so far, what you've done with Bath, so you've won an A-League in 2014, participated in the campaign that got to 2014 Challenge Cup final, Premiership final in 2015. For me, I said to you when the cameras are off, for me that Challenge Cup final is probably the game you turned up, if you know what I mean. Like, you put yourself on the map of being, we lost the game obviously, but you just were hugely physical and stand out from my recollection. Have you got any favourite moments so far in a Bath shirt?
Like, that A-League stands out for me. Yorsey was in that, Ellis was in that, Scousey, Big Spenny, load of boys that you kind of been with for 3 or 4 years, just one in a shot, Chris Cook, Kane. So it was a good group of boys and actually winning something. So when you're growing up as a kid again, you almost win the county cup, you win kind of your school games, you win stuff, and then probably for 3 years or 4 years until that game, you hadn't won anything, and it was a good thing to get involved in. From then on, we've had some good European games. I always get confused with the Toulouse and Toulon ones. We played Toulon back to back. 2016, I think we beat them at home. That was a massive win.
Benno scored.
Benno scored in the first few minutes. The clash games stick out as well now. Obviously, one of them was your last game. Remember that one running out with the kids. 150th was Wasps away. 100th was Newcastle. I remember them all. I'm pretty diligent with that stuff, but actually I think my 50th cap was Gloucester away, and it was my first Prem start. That's my 50th cap, so it kind of shows how long it took me to break through there. Yeah, there's a few moments, mate, but like, I'm still dying and I'm working as hard as I can to get that one moment where we lift some first team silverware. Like, that's going to be the pinnacle.
So Dunnie, just a clip of you obviously getting your long-awaited England debut. Went pretty viral with it. Someone told me though that you weren't actually crying because you just made your debut, it's because you were told you couldn't have any beers after making your debut. True or false?
It's no comment. This was a massive moment for me. The England stuff for me, like, I'm not saying it's written off now, but I'm a bit older and new cycle coming up for the World Cup, but I was involved in the England squad first in 2017 behind Dylan and Jamie. And then I think this video was literally 3 years ago yesterday. Being a third choice wasn't the easiest place to be. It was a battle. And then, so the game before this one, the international before this one, was just before COVID. And I sat on the bench for 80 minutes and didn't go on. And this is up in Edinburgh against Scotland. And my family came up, mum, dad, kids, missus, and didn't get on, which is obviously like, you build up for that moment from whenever you first watch England play, that's what you want to do. So it was a huge build up of emotion that never really got out of me. I never got to go on the pitch and release it. I never got to experience that moment. Like, I got to sing the anthem in front of my family, which was amazing. And then obviously COVID happened, and again, that was my other half, Jen. She works in the NHS and she worked intensive care in COVID, so it's a massively intense period of time. And I tried to keep my training up, and that's when you talk about the hoop on the side of my house. That was because I had the 2 kids for 11 and 10 hours a day, trying to keep me sane and them sane. They were playing fetch with the balls, I was throwing the ball in the hoop, everyone had a great time. And then we came out of COVID and the Six Nations got restarted. So I had all this pent up, almost like frustration or what could have been, what should have been, what would have been. And then this was the moment that it kind of came out. This is the moment where like I never played for England 18s, 20s, 16s, never even played. I played Southwest 18s for 1 year, but I never really made it to this point. And it was always like a pipeline, a dream almost to do it. And I felt like I was always so close but so far away, and I didn't think it would ever happen, if I'm honest with you. Like I never cared if I got 50 caps or 1 cap. I think every person's journey to get to that point is so different. But like just for me to have that and to say I finally did it, I finally achieved something that only at that time 1,400 people had achieved ever, was, as you can see what it meant to me, and it was a massive moment.
Yeah, definitely. Mate, you won't remember the conversation. You would have been 19, 20, but I remember we were sat around talking. You remember you saying, my dream is I want to play for England. And
You laughed at me.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And you said the cream always rises. I remember thinking, this kid is bonkers. That was before I realised you are actually obsessed.
I was probably 100 kilo loose at the time as well.
You were.
Getting pumped in the A-League.
Matt, I think we're going to look through your tries. This is going to be riveting. Here we go.
I hate this one because it's Matt Garvey doing something good.
Notice he didn't run.
No, he never ran. Footwork.
I
told you that
double
was footwork.
spin.
Double spin. I've got to say it, that a lot of my tries aren't just me. Like, look at the mauls. There's not many tries. I've said this before, where I'd love to score a try where no one's holding on to me. If you watch every try, look, there is someone on my team or their team, or probably both, pushing me over the line.
Mate, that's a genuinely smart finish, that.
A little bit of spinning.
Double spin, yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, top try scorer last year?
And the year before, mate.
Oh, sorry, it says last year.
Joint, actually, yeah. Joint top.
With?
The horse, unfortunately.
Was it?
Again,
okay.
Another bad bloke.
So regularly beating wingers for the last 2 years. Maul games obviously being strong.
Yeah.
How many scored in total, mate?
I don't know my actual total. I know my Premiership total.
Not including West Country Cup.
Not including West Country Cup and Canterbury Cup and the A-League. I think it's 31 Premiership tries. I think I'm tied with Jeremy Guscott at the minute.
Nice.
Which is
Good
a nice
trivia.
one. I think I'm...
We've got higher on the
have you?
total, yeah.
Oh, I'll take it. What have you got?
Well,
34?
more.
Oh, keep it coming.
39 we've got in total.
Well, I don't think that's all Premiership, but I'll take it all. Thank you. I think the top Premiership one is... I know. Well, if my stats are right where I read them, Matt Banahan's on like 67, and then he goes down to Semester Rockadungi on like 59, and then it's like me and Joey Maddox are drawn.
Mate, you're not a million miles off there.
No, if I can get another
seasons.
Well, I'll play till I'm 37 at least, because I've got nothing to lose. You can't lose what you never had. So as long as an arm doesn't fall off, I reckon I'll be up there.
Nice, you definitely can be, mate. I was going to say how many do you think of mauls, but you didn't actually know how many you'd scored. I was expecting you to know it on the dot.
I reckon, say it's 34, 28.
So we've basically seen the 6 tries.
The 6 tries that work more, you can see.
Nice. Mate, having now obviously finished and watched you do quite a lot of coaching with the boys, bit of a scrum leader, pick up a little bit of everything. How do you feel about it, and what's your kind of mindset with it?
Scrum moving for me, like, the front row often get a lot of the plaudits and stuff, but it's a massive effort of the 8 people. There's no such thing as an easy scrum.
No.
There's easy tries, there's easy runs, there's easy finishes. There's not an easy scrum. You've got 800 kilos on top of your head and 500 kilos behind you pushing you forwards, and then the 2 strongest blokes on the team twisting you either side. So like, it's never going to be easy. But that's why I like it, I think. Mate,
you absolutely love it, and we're just going to see how much you love it.
Black to my decision, please. What are we doing?
Tom Dunnie, you're for the contest. This is what it's all about. This is what the week has been leading to.
Talk us through this, mate.
So I think we're winning this game. It's right at the end. I've come off the bench with Jamie Batty and Henry Thomas, and we're trying to close it out basically. And I know that I can have an impact at the scrum. I know that it's a controllable where like you got the referee to come into it, but if you get your stuff right, you can at least hold them out for 90 seconds, a minute, and kill the game. Whereas they go to a line out, if they kick it over my head, I'm just chasing shadows again. So I just really wanted an opportunity to come on and just have an impact and influence that moment. So I needed a scrum. So I tried to goad them into it and say, scrum, go for a scrum, go for a scrum. Not really. I think they've actually been quite dominant that game, to be fair, but I just knew 5 metres off our line, 5 minutes to go, we'd be up for this. So I tried to goad them into it. They took the scrum and then we won the penalty. So kind of fake it till you make it. But the referee made the right call, so I just trust referees so much. They're such good human beings. So
Right
yeah.
call with Henry Thomas at tight head.
Yeah,
Definitely drop that.
Yeah, mate. He's got the win. We got the win. We got the penalty and we cleared our line. So it's a good decision.
Mate, and it's a great clip and shows how much you love scrums, to be fair. So, mate, obviously you've got an amazing relationship with Bath fans. Chippenham lad. What does it mean to you, mate?
It's massive. Like, there's some fans now that genuinely know me better than some of my friends from school. In the crowd at the Rec, I reckon 80% of them is one. So it's, obviously I grew up in the area, I played football, I played rugby, I played cricket, I played tennis, I played roller hockey, I went to scouts, I went to 3 schools, I went to university. Now my kids go to school here in Bath, my kids go to rugby, they go to gymnastics. In that crowd, there are so many people that I actually genuinely know, and they're generally like part of my life. Like I remember there's season ticket holders that sit or to stand there. They were my first ever coaches at Caution, and they sit there and they've been there for 15 years. And every time I walk around the pitch at the end, I say hello to them. And then there's coaches now on the other side that coach my daughter in under 6s at Chippenham. So I say hello to them every week. And then, yeah, so the connection is more than probably just rugby now. You talk about players that play for a long time with the club. I mean, Yorsey at the minute Yorsey and Benno both joined in the same year. So they've been there for 10 years now with me pretty much. But these fans I'm talking about have been there for the whole time. So probably when you started playing, when I started playing, they're still there and they're still supporting. And that's the impact it has really. It's mad.
Yeah, genuinely, you've said it a few times, it becomes like a part of your life.
Yeah.
Tom Dunn, Bath Rugby.
Yeah, it's like almost an identity.
Yeah. But mate, not only are you a great rugby player, you're genuinely a great bloke. You do so much for the community. Dorothy House Ambassador, Bath Rugby, endless community of the player, community player of the year awards, clubman of the year. Like, how special is that for you?
Yeah, no, it's big. It is really big. It's because of the route I came in, and it wasn't always certain that I'd be a rugby player. It wasn't always certain that I'd play 100 games. I remember, it's a weird one, Danny Grucock, when he was my academy coach, he sits down and goes, what do you want to achieve in your career? Like, how many games of Bath? I was like, 100, and he went like that to me. I was like, okay. 50. He was like, yeah. And he was like, you want to play for England? I was like, yeah. He goes, again, probably not. He's like, Dunnie, like, you're a good player, you're a solid player, you work hard and you love the city, you love the club. Have you ever thought about being a Hits ambassador? This is when I'm like 19 years old. So I actually was a Hits ambassador for the foundation for like 4 years after that conversation. And it was always, when I wasn't playing at the start, it's what made me feel like I was involved. So I wasn't at the game day, I wasn't playing, I didn't get my first Prem start till 2016, I think, and I joined in 2010. For 6 years, I wasn't able to be on the pitch and to do what I actually really wanted to do. So the next best thing was to still be involved and still be with the fans, with the players, and to be seen as a Bath Rugby player was to do the foundation stuff and do the charity stuff and to do the appearances and to help out where you can. And that's probably where that came from. And then you build those relationships again. They're like, we back you, we think you're going to be brilliant, we think you're going to make it. And then when you do, you look back and they're the kind of people that you think of, that in those times when you weren't playing and they were backing you and thought you were going to make it and they thought you were brilliant, and it keeps you going and it keeps you motivated to keep going. And that's probably where that came from, and I've stuck with it as well. Like my other half again, Jen, she works at Dorothy House, and you see the amazing stuff that they do there, and then by just sacrificing, one evening a month, 1-2 evenings a month to do something charitable or to visit someone who's in a tough ride, having a tough time, and the impact you can have is massive, and I love doing that as well.
Dunnie, mate, genuinely couldn't be any happier for you to make you 200, and I know how much it means to you. I know how much you care, and I know how hard you've worked to get there. Where do you want to get to? Now,
I want to be the biggest. I want to be the most. I'd say it now on camera. I want to beat the records, professional records, of course, because I can't play 600 games. That's 4 games a week like the old boys did. But I think again, knowing my stats, I think Matt Banahan's the top. So I'd love to beat him just to cheese him off as well. I think he's like 270.
You've got that. 5 years in you?
At least. I said I can't see me unless an arm or leg falls off. I should be all right.
Yeah.
But probably my biggest issue is going to be the young boys coming through. Like they're looking good. Try and knock the old boy off the top, I guess, is what they want to do, and that's probably my biggest threat. And that's why I still want to keep playing well. I still want to try and get better. Like that part of me, like people get to their age where they're like 32, 33, 34, and they stop training legs, or they stop doing the double day. The way I play, I think my body's always going to be there. It's going to be in my mind. It's going to be when do I get tired? When do I stop wanting to headbutt shins and feel like that when I do on a Sunday morning? And at the minute, I'm nowhere near that. So
I don't think you're ever going to get like that.
Yeah, so I'll play forever then.
Before your head does.
Yeah, so yeah, mate, I'd love to go down as someone who, as a one club man, I'd love to go down as someone who got lots of tries and lots of appearances, but again, you just got to perform. You got to keep performing to do that. So that's what my focus is now. The rest of it will come and look after itself, hopefully. Just got to keep performing, keep doing my best.
Nice, mate. I wouldn't be surprised there. I wouldn't be surprised if you did. Once again, mate, congratulations. Genuinely couldn't be any more pleased for you. I'm looking forward to you getting to 277 games.
Cheers, bud.
Congrats, bud.
Ciao, mate.